Calls of the day, we lead with Walmart. Mizuho says top pick. It's on the list. 115 is the price target. Nice little increase from there. A decade of investment spend has finally reached a tipping point, in our view, where delivery, convenience are on par with anyone in consumer. Those are big words, Joe T. You own that name.
Where's the mention about tariff, Scott? Is there anywhere in that report a word tariff? Because that's the problem. That's the reason why, since February, this stock has been on the decline. Stock makes an all-time high in February. Subsequent to that, earnings come out. We go down. We've heard the news surrounding the president and Walmart CEO going back and forth with tariffs, but they have a challenge in tariffs. They have a challenge because they don't want to pass through the cost to you and I. They want to eat the cost, and that is going to eat into margin. So until we get the clarity related to tariffs, the stock is going to continue to move sideways. And we own it. Stock? We own it.
The stock's up 9% 3 months.
The stock has been phenomenal. The stock has been phenomenal over the last 18 months. But it has stalled out in February, and it's specifically because of tariffs. Look at a chart of Costco. They're in the same situation right now. You could talk about others in the retail space. The tariff challenge is real for these companies. And most of these companies, in particular the hyperscalers, they don't want to pass through the cost to the consumer. They want to be able to eat it. Well, that's a problem because it is going to eat up that margin.
Hey, befitting my cheery deposition.
Disposition.
I'll help you out again.
Disposition, befitting that. Here's what's good that's going on, and you're not going to hear it. We saw part of that news in Microsoft today, and I'm equating it to Walmart for the following reason. The headcount reductions, I believe, are because of AI, because they're getting more productivity out of AI.
Okay.
Now, when you go to Walmart, they spoke about dark stores. We're going to see dark stores proliferate. We're going to see it with all retailers. What that means is that you will not need any people in that. The technology exists. Take a look at a private company, Nimble Robotics, where it's fully automated. So you'll have these smaller footprints where you basically call up, make an order, or better yet, you do it on your phone, and that is ready for you as you drive through. That cuts down on theft, which is big for some of these companies. It affects 25% of their profits. So you'll get away, you'll reduce theft, you'll reduce labor costs, and that's the upside to Walmart, and pick the others. Walgreens, just go down.
Agreed, but that's the technological investment that they've made over the last several years. One of the reasons why we initiated the position in it. Right. I think the question was, what was it, 115 is your price target
115.
there? Okay, how does it get to 115? You have to get away from the headwinds.
It's almost at 100. That's not that big of a move from here.
It was at 105 in February, and it's been, look at what has happened to the stock since February.
Tariffs an issue.
Tariffs, to get to all,
but they said they would raise prices.
You want to get to 115? Let's get some clarity and resolution on the margin challenge they have related to tariffs. We own the stock. I love the stock. Technology's phenomenal. Everything you're citing,
let me ask you this question, though. Is there any company that is better positioned to extract cost concessions from their suppliers than Walmart?
Amazon.
Better positioned?
Yes.
Well, I don't think so, because I think they're equally well positioned. I don't think you have to pick one or the other.
Let's go to Ross Stores, because I started to talk about that, and I just want to get that out. Upgraded today to buy from hold, 150 to 135. You own that name, too.
And again, you can continue to mention tariffs for all of these retail names, but in particular for Ross Store, the challenge that they have in front of them and what potentially could be a catalyst. So Stephanie said yesterday she thinks that there's a potential building recovery in home products. Well, 25% of the sales for this company are related to home goods. So if, in fact, you begin to see that, that is something that reignites the momentum, which was present for this company, but it's kind of similar to Walmart moving sideways.
Why waste time with Ross Stores when you can go to home goods? TJ Maxx does not have a tariff issue. This is an off-rack retailer that is very customer-friendly.
They own home goods.
Yeah, that was my cool, clever
Just
way
make sure everybody knows that.
TJ Maxx owns home goods.
And Marmaxx as well.
And that's your best play?
I think within the space, we own Home Depot and TJ Maxx. I love TJ Maxx. The dividend growth, the share buybacks. If you go to this store, you can't find a parking spot. You won't want to wait in line. And this is not a tariff issue. I buy everything here domestically.
IonQ, Bryn, overweight at Cantor Fitzgerald. They initiate coverage there. $45 is the price target. This stock went up huge when you first were talking about it. Then I think you sold some. if not all. I can't remember. You bring us up to date and our viewers, but 45 they say it's going back to. What's the story here?
Yeah, well, so I bought it at 33, and then shortly after, Barron's actually had an article about it, which I think is why the stock ran up. And so I sold half the position. Listen, I like owning some high growth, longer term names. I will say this, the company is about $11 billion market cap, the stock. Their revenues for the August quarter should be at 50%, but those revenues will come in at 17 million. So these are early days. And I think with the quantum computing, what they're looking to do, and they're the biggest in the space. What they've been able to do with their stocks since they're publicly traded is they have been gobbling up, I would say, these small companies, but really like a group of really super smart scientists with LightSync. They did one in New Mexico that works with DARPA and top secret. And so I think as computing continues, they are at the intersection of cybersecurity. They are at the intersection of super fast computing. And they also have quantum computers, like literal quantum computers. So I think it's early days. The stock could be at 20, and I wouldn't be surprised, or 60. So I will build a position, trade around it. But I just think there's so few pure play quantum stocks. And I do believe this is the best one out there. I wanted to have an initial position to have in the portfolio.
All right. Thank you.